I'm great. How are you? Hi, everybody. Pop in, say hello. Wow,
Yes,
look at all these
welcome.
people coming in. Oh my gosh, I love this. Look at, woo.
It's good to see you
Let's
all this
see.
morning.
Julie, Coral, John, Ken, Mike. Oh, two Mikes. Oh, it's the same Mike. You're on twice, Mike. Hi, Ruth. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Morning.
We'll wait a few minutes.
Yeah.
Say
Well,
hello.
yeah, open up your chat where this is going to be interactive. So please go get a piece of paper or a journal, something that you can write with. We're going to have some prompts for you today. Open up your chat while we're kind of giving another minute for everybody to come on. I want to know who played the Powerball this weekend.
Not me.
No, I played.
Did you play? Did anybody win?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm
There were,
happy for them, but I was hoping I would remember to play. And 1.8 billion, I think. Oh
yeah,
my gosh. Oh my
two
gosh.
winners
Two.
split
Oh,
the
that's good. That's good. That makes me
1.8
happy.
billion.
That makes me happy. Good morning, Julie.
Nobody's willing. Oh, you wish you played. Yeah, you would have. You maybe you would have won. Got to play to
Mm,
win.
that's okay. That's okay. We'll just.
I did win. Or no, I did not win. I did play. I did not win. That would have been fun then to announce.
Well, we would have had a really great day if that was the case, talking about abundance. My goodness.
Right?
That would have been a hot, yeah, definitely
Right? That would have
fitting
been
for our
fun.
topic today. Yeah. All right, we'll
All
just,
right, everybody. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm Allie Sweeney, and I'm a mindfulness host. No, mindfulness host. I was just looking at the host in the chat. I'm a mindfulness coach, and I'm so excited because this is Mindful Mondays hosted by Fuel. And we're so happy to have you here because as we're chatting about, we're talking about abundance today. So
yes.
I'm going to have Danielle introduce herself as well. Just, I think a lot of you know us. It's good to see some friendly names. But as she introduces herself, maybe open up the chat and describe what abundance means to you right now. Maybe if you could do it in one word, what does abundance mean to you this morning?
Yeah, that's a good one. Hi, everybody. I'm Danielle Ribeiro. I'm an inner work and success strategist. I am also the CSO of Voice ROI, which is an AI company that I am launching with the CEO, Mike Weiss. So I'm super excited about that opportunity, along with my coaching and practice where I just it's the spiritual work I do is it really feeds my soul. I have an amazing community. I have awesome clients and I'm building a community called DMR Method Community. It is almost ready to launch.
Come on, Danielle. You're
We
almost
are on
there.
target to launch on September 16th.
Ah,
So I am super excited about that, and I will have all the information in the chat later on. So if anybody would like to get on the wait list, I strongly recommend that you get on because it's gonna be super exciting. All right, so let's see what we have in the chat. Good morning,
yeah.
Played. Okay.
So we've got Julie
Abundance.
saying abundance means so many things to her.
Mm,
She's excited. Mike says, do what I want with who I want and when I want in a way that lights me and others up.
Oh, I like that. I like both of these. I like the fact that you said it means so many things. So Julie, that's interesting because I feel the same way about abundance. I think it means so many things in so many different ways. And for me, abundance could be a really positive thing, and sometimes abundance could be a heavy energy. So I get that.
Mhm.
And Mike, I love this. Do what I want with who I want, when I want. I mean, who doesn't want that? It's amazing. I love it.
It sounds like a life.
Prosperity. Oh, yes, prosperity. That's a beautiful word, Rachel. Hi, Rachel. We didn't see you at first, so hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love, love, love it.
No. Awesome. Well, we are going to hit on all these kinds of abundance today, and we're going to explore the topic really kind of as a mindset and as awareness rather than something like luck, right?
Yes.
If you're lucky enough to win the lottery. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to meditate because that's what we do. We're going to start there, but then we're going to explore abundance kind of through scarcity. So what happens when we don't believe we should be able to have the things we want with who we want to have it, right? What happens then? And so just kind of explore the idea that Danielle's talking about is, sometimes we're abundant in the things that we don't want. And how do we shift those things? But always noticing that we are always abundant. It just might not be what you want to be abundant in. And as I mentioned, grab a journal or grab something to write with because we're going to have you chatting with us and capturing some of your own thoughts and ideas on this. The reason we have you do that is to make it a little bit more real, right? When you can write it for yourself, when you can be thinking for yourself, it cements it, it anchors it more in your system than if we just talk at you. And then we're going to do another meditation. So that's the plan for today. We're excited.
Yes.
So let's start with a meditation. This meditation that we're going to start with is going to focus on gratitude, which is one of the ways to really get into a vibration of abundance. So when you're ready, close your eyes and just bring your attention inward. Maybe notice what thoughts start to flow as you close your eyes and get ready to meditate. And see if you can bring the focus of your mind to your body. And so maybe start at the top of your head, maybe into the sinuses and your forehead and your cheeks, into your jaw. You're just noticing what it feels like in your chin and in your neck. Bringing all of your focus to your shoulders. And then down into your fingertips. Let's see if you can feel that little alive tingle in your fingertips. Noticing that you are alive with each breath you take. Move into your heart. Noticing the front of your body, the back of your body. See if you can get a big belly breath deep down into your stomach. Just saying hello to your hips. Into your knees. And what about your ankles, your toes? What do they feel like today? Notice if there is any part of your body that's really trying to get your attention. Give it some. What is it trying to tell you? Just give some of your attention to any part of your body that's asking for it. Consider the mantra, today I behold the abundance that surrounds me. Today I behold the abundance that surrounds me. So start naming everything and anything that surrounds you that you could be grateful for. And let this be everything. So you might be grateful for your body, but you also might be grateful for your computer or the class or whatever you're sitting on, the light shining in your window. See how many things that you can name that are right around you. You don't have to think too hard about it. Let it be silly. Grateful for the clothes I'm wearing. Today, I behold the abundance that surrounds me. And just notice what it feels like as you have gratitude. What does that feel like? For me, it feels like exciting jitters. See what it feels like for you. Are you still naming things you're grateful for? Have you gone somewhere else? Noticing what gratitude feels like. Let that really build excitement, feeling in your body. And see if you can bring a gratitude for the life that's coursing through you. And Danielle and I are extremely grateful for you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and stretch your body.
That was awesome. That is my kind of way to start Mindful Monday. That was awesome. How does everybody feel? Put it in the chat.
Danielle, that's a pretty awesome cup. Were you grateful for it?
I'm so grateful for this cup. And I'm so grateful for my animals,
And for your pup?
for
Mm-hmm.
my pup.
Yeah.
Yes, so grateful. I have two German Shepherds, and I'm very grateful for both of them. Matter
Oh
of
my.
fact, my female, Mika, is my favorite child, according to the little running joke in my family. So when I'm asked who my favorite child is, I always say it's Mika. Of course, it's Mika. So
Yeah.
because
Oh, I
she
love it.
doesn't she doesn't give me any lip. She doesn't talk back. She does what she's told.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That was
Mm-hmm.
amazing. That was amazing. So yeah,
Oh, I
how
know. I
do
think it's really fun. So if you ever are wondering what you have in abundance, gratitude is a great way to just kind of go, oh, I do actually have so much to be grateful for. I've found it really helpful, even in the dark moments, right? Even in the times that are really tough. A gratitude practice is a great way to just lighten that up a little bit. So Danielle, let's move into this idea of abundance and, kind of talking about the idea of it, right? And one way to think about it is, or the way I was thinking about it, there's this made up word that I was given when I was first learning about all of this stuff and energy. And the made up word is havingness. And havingness is your capacity to have.
Mhm.
So if we think about everything that we could have as a pie, right? Do you allow yourself to have a narrow slice of pie? And having this would say, not only do you deserve as much pie as you want, it would say there's actually no limit to the amount of pie. There's not actually a fixed amount that we're all trying to receive from because we receive from an infinite source.
Mhm.
And so when you can open up these ideas of maybe you think we only have so much that we could all have, right? And then maybe your slice is even smaller than that, to the idea of there's actually no pie. And there is that we receive from this infinite source. So that is what I would love for you to kind of think about today is, right, where you're limiting yourself and what it is that you want. One of the, I don't know, universal truths about this is that we always get what we need. And
Yes.
so the question becomes, how do you fall in love with what you need and create the vibration from there of what you want? So there's a
Yeah.
lot in there, Danielle. What do you want to jump in with?
Well, so when I think of having this and the ability of really truly not putting a limit on what you want or what you have, because you really have, there is no limit. I think of control. And I
Ooh.
think of how we, as us humans living in this 3D world under these 3D parameters, we place a lot of control on our expectations and
Mhm.
what we expect from ourselves. So this is interesting that this topic is coming up today because I just had a client before our session here, and I am actually teaching her Reiki. So we are going through the entire process, and as we were going through it, we were talking about control and this self-awareness that we put all of this pressure as human beings on ourselves to control every aspect of our life. How much abundance we should have, or how much abundance we deserve, or how grateful we should be. Or is it okay to be grateful? Does it seem
Hmm.
like we're boasting if we're too grateful for stuff? We put all of these limits on ourselves. And the truth is, we're abundant creatures. We just have to align ourselves with what we truly desire. It's all there for us.
Mhm.
There's no ego attached, nothing. We just we have to allow ourselves to get out of the heaviness of the everyday and realize that we can pretty much create and have anything that we truly desire as long as we are at that vibration to receive it.
Mhm.
We are the only ones that limit ourselves. Just us.
Yeah.
And we control it because we're humans and we like to control things. That's what we like to do.
I think it's a really an important point. Uh, it makes it sound so easy, right? But these are challenging things to
Yeah.
receive at that level, right? To give at that level. So we really want you to explore maybe in your journals, right? What are the beliefs that are holding you back from that? Right? Where is it that you receive from the small pie, or you fall into scarcity, which would be the idea that there isn't enough for everyone, and maybe especially not you. And then maybe just take a moment to kind of think about what that is. Can you think of a time, Danielle, where your beliefs were holding you back?
Oh gosh, yeah, for sure. Many times.
Yeah,
One time in
this is really
particular,
common.
many times. One time in particular was when I was going for a promotion, the first promotion um, to become a regional manager. I was a sales rep for 5 years. I was very successful as a sales rep. It was in my sphere of understanding, and I rocked it. I was really good
Hmm.
at it. And because I was really good at it, they said, okay, now there's an opening for the Northeast. We need an RM, and we want you. We want you to interview. And I was like, oh, why? Why would they want me? I'm really comfortable as a rep. Like, I know how to do this. Oh, they want me to interview? Oh my gosh. So I had to really work on that internal dialogue between the ears because if you allow your monkey mind to take over, oh boy, you could talk yourself out of a really amazing opportunity. So it's really just, I had to really sit there and start feeding and watching that internal script and changing the script when it was going in a very negative direction and being aware of it. So that's a great tool and
Hmm.
way to kind of flip the script, I call it, where we have all of these thoughts throughout the day. I talk about this all the time. Was it like 60, 80,000 thoughts throughout the day? Can you imagine that that's how
Right.
many
So many.
thoughts we have throughout the day? But we do. And
Hmm.
it's about identifying where those thoughts are going. And you're not going to be able to switch all of them and flip them, but you could switch many. And it's just taking that negative internal dialogue and turning it around. So, but yes, that was a big moment in my life where I was like, wow, can I do this? Yes, I could do this, and I got the promotion. I had to align myself with what I wanted and
Hmm.
stop that internal noise. How about you?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think for me, it is a lot about not taking the time to decide what it is that I really want. I think for me, I grew up the youngest of four, right? I just didn't have a lot of practice getting to
Yeah.
drive, right? Getting to know what I wanted. So that has been a huge discovery for me is that when you actually sit down and align yourself with what it is that you want in this world, how easier then it is to create it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing how many of us don't actually do that step, right? What is it that you want? So if those of you in the chat, right? Like where in your life do you desire more abundance?
Yeah, I'd love to hear. Please
And where is
chime
it
in.
that you are noticing that you have abundance? Because here's the thing. Um, I was joking with Danielle before we were playing. I have an abundance of laundry in my house right now. Right? Like there are things that are abundant in your life that aren't necessarily what you want, but we always have this abundance. So it's both the practice of noticing where you have abundance already, right? And then where you most want it. And then you're going to put your energy to where you want it
I mean, we
and
all
then
have,
show up for that.
yeah, and we all have an abundance of responsibilities because we're
Mhm.
all, very successful individuals. So we have an abundance of responsibilities. But it was interesting because this past weekend, I I had a really grateful moment. And I need to share this because this brings
Yeah.
abundance back and it's a great story. So I have the most amazing friends. The most amazing friends. And I'll talk to them, they check in, we text, but spending time, like one-on-one time with them when you are, you know, building a business, a wife, you have all the stuff, right? It's not easy. So this weekend, I spent Friday night with three of my closest friends. And then Saturday, I spent it with another really close friend. And as we took a cooking class together. And as we were going, it was interesting because she said to me, "Do you know this is the first time that you and I have ever done something together?" And I thought to myself, "Oh my gosh, you're right." Now we've gone on vacation, but it's never just been the two of us. It's always been the family, or we'll go out to dinner, but it's always spouses. So I realized at that moment how abundant my life is with the most amazing people. And showing gratitude and spending time with them is such a gift, such a beautiful gift that a lot of us don't set time for. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I just, I needed to express it. Actually, Ruth is on. Ruth is my very dear friend, and I don't know if she's on right this moment, but she looks like she is. So yeah, so we took a cooking class together, and it was amazing. But it just brought me back to how wonderful it is to have an overwhelming sense of abundance when it comes to friendship and love.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful
And to
story.
honor it. Just, yeah, completely agree. Love you. Yes. Love you too. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And so if you, it's interesting because at some point in your life, you had to decide that friends are really important to me,
Right.
right? And that this is what I want in my life is friendship. And how then you take the time to create the relationships that exist, right? And now you're at the space where you're abundant in these relationships. And I think that's such a beautiful example of really how this works. And um, I'm would be curious if anybody out there can put into the chat like where they don't see it working for them, right? Like what are the stumbling blocks or what are the parts that make this hard for you? Um, is it some of your what are you coming up against when you're realizing that maybe you've gotten abundance in a place that you don't want it, or, you're struggling to feel abundant where you are.
Yeah, I'd love to hear this because this is definitely a challenge for everybody, in one way, shape, or form. So abundance of tiredness. Yeah. Yeah. And motivation. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially in the season, it depends on what season of your life you're in, but this is very valid. How about somebody else? Who else? We'd love to hear you guys. You guys are quiet today. Come on, we don't bite, I promise. We love when you interact with us.
I know, I know. Well, I know for me, I've shared this on other Mindful Mondays. There was a time in my life where I had an abundance of health issues. And, what that journey took me on was, finding a different level of stress in my life and finding value and priority for me. And so when we say like you always get what you need, um, of course, I would never have chosen to have all of these health issues that I went through. But I did find a different love of life and a different love of myself that had I not gone through that, I wouldn't have been able to access. So, and for me, I really had to get out of the victim and rescuer roles, a lot of the codependence that I was in, to be able to come to the other side of that. So it's really important to kind of take stock of where you are and maybe noticing what's happening to you and why it might be happening, right? And what else? And that's where focusing on what you want, right? I wanted to feel whole with radiant health and vibrant energy.
Mm.
And so that's where I put all of my focus
Hmm.
was on that idea of radiant health and vibrant energy.
Yeah, it's
And
beautiful.
so it is about turning from your focus from what you don't want to what you do want. And that's a very important pivot.
It is a very important pivot. It's the biggest takeaway is really focusing on what I call the wish fulfilled, where
Yeah.
you truly want to be. So we have a couple comments in the chat. Ruth, I have an abundance of imposter syndrome. Well, I can understand that. I've been there many times. I think we all have. That's quite valid. And it is just like Ali said, focusing on your wish fulfilled and really what you want to achieve and getting past that feeling. You know, that would come into play with me a lot of times when I would have to go and present in front of a board or do something that was completely out of my comfort zone. A new, when I started with Board of Advisors, which is a mastermind group that I'm a member of, that was a huge challenge at first because I was surrounded by very successful CEOs that have been doing it a lot longer than me, and I was kind of thrown in, and boy, imposter syndrome was definitely a feeling I was feeling, and really focusing and centering myself and seeing myself on the other side of it, where I actually was able to get up there, speak, and I would visualize them clapping at the end of
Hmm.
my time. So there's ways of doing it, but visualization has always been a great tool for me to get past that. And then abundance of stress. Oh, Julie, I know what that's like too, and I'm sure Allie can
Hmm.
feel that. But I'm working hard on changing that mindset, self-doubt, that I can be great. You are great. You are
Hmm.
great, and you get to be great. You get to be great. Remember, not about that you can, you are and you get.
Hmm.
You get to do all these amazing things. So,
Yeah. So, for you all that have this abundance of things that maybe you don't want, consider that pivot, right? So, consider, right, for me, I changed it to radiant health and vibrant energy, right? That is my focus. So, and then what Danielle's talking about in the visualization is to let yourself feel what it would feel like to have whatever it is that you want. So you let yourself go, okay, this is what it would feel like to have a healthy body, right? This is what it would feel like to have confidence in the room. This is what it would feel like to give myself rest every day and not be on the mental treadmill. And
yes.
what's important is that you let your like really fall into the feeling of that because that's what's going to pull you out of like that's what's going to help you create the momentum and the pivot into, as Danielle calls it, the wish fulfilled, into what you want.
Yes. 100%, because we were given these beautiful senses. We have five of them. If you utilize them for positive, they can bring you out of a very negative mindset or a challenging mindset very quickly. So 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Definitely put your comments in here. I'd love to hear.
And another idea here, just as if you chime in, we'll catch it. Is really the idea of scarcity is kind of our opposite here, right? So you might think, I know for me, I want you to think about where you could shift from scarcity to abundance this week. And then maybe create a mantra in your journal or something you write down. For me, time is always one of those things that I don't feel like I have enough of.
Oh,
So this week, I'm going to say to myself, I have plenty of time. Where do I want to spend it? Right? So I don't have enough time for all of this I have plenty of time. Where do I want to spend it? So consider where are the places that you're feeling this scarcity, that you want more of that abundance feel, and what kind of mantra could you say to yourself this week to help move from that scarcity thinking to abundant thinking?
it's so funny because we do this to ourselves all the time. My husband and I we were at a season in our life where we were constantly saying, "Oh, we have so much going on right now." Like when somebody would ask us, like, "How you doing?" We'd be like, "Oh, just have so much going on right now." And I started to think about that, and I was like, "Okay, well, guess what that's going to bring in? More stuff that we don't want going on." So so it's about, we have so many amazing things happening in our life right now. Life is really active, and it's about changing the way we interpret what is happening in our world. Sure, there's a lot of moving parts, but those moving parts are a miracle and beautiful and necessary for us to get to the next step. So we have, and then I would think about it and be like, okay, if anybody was listening to me on the other side, they'd be like, oh yeah, every time we see the Ribeiros, they always have a lot going on. It's like, do you really want to spend time with people like that. So it's
That's really funny.
yeah,
It is,
yeah.
it sometimes I find it stressful to be with people like that.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. Who wouldn't? I wouldn't want to be with me like that. I didn't want it. It's yes, of course. So it's really taking, okay, we all have a lot going on in life. We all have heavy energy here and there, but it's turning it around and showing gratitude for what you do have and all the blessings that you are
Hmm.
getting out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my
So
mantra. That's what I needed. I have plenty of time. Oh, I love that, Ken. That's great.
yeah, I love that too, Ken. That's wonderful. You and I both will be on that one today. We'll have support in
Yeah.
each other.
That.
Danielle, what I started saying instead of life is so busy or life is too busy is I started saying life is full.
Mm,
That felt so good to me as like it didn't feel stressful. It felt relaxed and like, oh, actually my life is full of all the things that I want in this life.
mm,
Right? So, and it
yeah.
helps you let go of the things that you don't want or you don't have to do, right? Let go of some of those expectations of what you think you should do, or, however all those pieces play out that you get so busy, right? The reasons
I
that you get busy.
Yeah, I love that. I always use, I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all the amazing blessings that I have in my life. So I always try to bring gratitude towards it because that's the highest vibration of energy in and it brings me to a completely different mindset very quickly. So I love my life is full. I think that in conjunction with bringing gratitude to any situation, knowing that there's a lesson and gifts and everything that we have going on in our life together, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
So that makes sense. We're talking about gratitude. I think people have got that idea, right? We practiced it a little bit. Another one that I use that's really easy is noticing beauty
Mm.
because there's beauty everywhere.
Every-
Right? So whether it's a flower or the cloud in the sky, I use a lot of nature because that just feels beautiful to me. It could be anything though that you find beautiful. And what I love about beauty, because it's everywhere that you choose to notice it, is that it keeps me out of scarcity. So it keeps me out of that idea that there isn't enough or everything's awful, and into that expanded there we receive from an infinite source because my God, there are flowers on this earth, right?
Mhm.
So that's another just quick little tip to put in your back pocket. Um, no worries, Ken,
Oh
come
gosh,
next
yeah.
time. We're
Yeah.
we're
Thank
happy
you,
to
Ken.
happy to have you back and bring a friend.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. Yeah, I love it.
Danielle, do you want to talk because you have a bunch of courses on fuel
Mhm.
that really do. I think there is a lot of abundance in the classes that you have up there. Do you have a link or do you want to tell people about the courses that you have?
Yeah, sure. So I have right now a lot of guided and subliminal recordings on fuel. I have the money magnet subliminal, as well as the meditation, attracting new clients, brand awareness. They speak specifically to this audience, and this audience truly speaks to me because I was in this world for 20 years, sales and leadership. So I feel like I could truly relate to some of the challenges that you have all go through or gone through. I certainly feel it every day being, in a role where, you have a lot of responsibility and make tough decisions. Thank you. Thank you, Allie. So yes, so those are some of my meditations. I know Allie actually has something that's very cool. She has courses on how to meditate. You could speak to it for sure, but you have some really interesting things for people that are kind of just learning, right? And just understanding the foundation and then scaling them up from there.
Right. So a lot about how to focus the mind and, because a lot of times the stumbling blocks to mindset is really just thinking that you can't change what you can focus on. And so that's what my courses are really designed toward. And the next Mindful Monday. So when we plan the Mindful Mondays, we plan the month of September to all be about abundance. So, this is our opening topic for the month, but then next week, I'm going to be on with another fuel instructor, John Murphy, who's actually on the call today. Hi, John. And we
Fun.
are going to focus on giving and receiving. So, one of my courses in Fuel has the giving and receiving meditation. The idea is that um, that there's a universal law, right? That what we receive is what we give is what we receive. And so we will really be diving into that one. I'm excited about that for next week. And it's the more I give, the more I receive. It's a cycle. Abundance is a cycle. It's a circle, right? The more you give, the more you receive, the more you give, the more you receive. It's not a linear line. There's not a limit to it. It doesn't have an end. What you're doing is really increasing your havingness for more of what you want in this life. So, gosh, what are the other? I'm just looking at some of my notes, Danielle.
Hmm.
And just to remind people that, even as we talk about wishes fulfilled and having all your dreams come alive and living the life that you want to live, it's really important that you show up in your life, right? You don't get to just put this idea out there of something that you want. You still have to answer the call, right? If your phone rings with the next great opportunity and you don't answer it, you just miss that opportunity. So consider where in your life maybe you could add more discipline, right? Toward the things that you want and toward the things, and letting go of the things that you don't want. An example in my life of this is social media, right? There are times that I can just get sucked in and spend more time than I care to admit on social media. Now, instead, right, where are those little pockets? So if I'm talking about how much time I have, right, where are those pockets of time that you could utilize to create the steps in your life for what it is that you do want, right? It's kind of, we started off talking about the lottery. You got to play to win. And you got to work in your life to get these pieces to come to fruition too.
Yeah, 100%. And that comes with, I believe, comes with clarity. And you said something very
Mhm.
important, releasing what you don't want or what no longer serves you. And I always say, so you can make room for things that do. So it's
Right.
emptying that cup of what isn't serving you any longer and replacing it with things that truly do. So you're making room. But if you don't know what you want, how are you supposed to receive it? So journaling is a great way to get clear. Meditation is a great way to bring clarity. Having a grateful heart, gratitude is a great way. So these are all tools that I pull out of my toolbox to
Mhm.
help bring clarity when I feel foggy. And understanding, because our senses will be a great tool for you in navigation. So trust your intuition, trust how you're feeling, right? And if you're feeling like you just don't have clarity, then I typically will just take my journal and I'll just start writing, just jotting things down. And through the chaos, I'll find clarity. And a lot of times I'll go back and read it and I'll be like, wow, that was interesting because that took a little while, but I was able to get crystal clear on what I wanted. So,
Right. So that oftentimes not having that clarity or not having the direction often creates some of that chaos. Or I know for me, that's where I'll get overwhelmed, right? Too many buckets with too little in them, right? Instead of, oh, this is the direction that I want to go.
correct.
No.
Correct. Yes. Yes. Amazing.
Danielle, are you ready to lead us through another meditation?
I am ready. Yes,
All
I
right, I'm going to put our contact information in the chat so people
okay,
can find us.
perfect.
Um, but go ahead. I think we're ready, unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, just hopefully everybody's in a space where they could shut their eyes for a few minutes and we'll get grounded and centered. And I am going to go off camera and I'm going to start. So take a minute to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold at the top. And slowly let it out through your mouth. Let's do that again. Take a nice, deep, healing, cleansing breath in through your nose, all the way to the top. And release slowly through your mouth, feeling your body. Let go, release. One last time. In through your nose. Hold at the top. And release through your mouth. Allow your body to settle into comfort as you start to breathe naturally and at a rhythm where your body wants. You're releasing any tension or distraction with every gentle breath. Your body feels soft and open to receiving. Now imagine yourself surrounded by a soft golden light. This light represents the unlimited source of abundance, the infinite well that never runs dry. Feel it wrapping around you, warm, loving, safe. As you breathe deeply, begin to picture what abundance means to you. It might be financial prosperity, opportunities, vibrant health, meaningful relationships, or maybe inner peace. Or how about all of the above? There is no limit here. Whatever abundance looks like for you, allow those images to form in your mind. Now, see abundance being drawn towards you as if it's magnetized to your energy. Envision your body as a human magnet. Watch it flow in effortlessly and with an overwhelming sense of joy. moves towards you in waves, like a river that actually knows where to go. Feel the truth of this affirmation rising within you. I create abundance from an unlimited source. Repeat it slowly and quietly to yourself. I create abundance from an unlimited source. Take a moment to see yourself living in this reality. How does it feel? What are you doing? Who are you becoming as you allow this flow of abundance to fill your life? I create abundance from an unlimited source. Now bring your awareness back to the present moment. Abundance isn't just a vision of tomorrow. It's something you begin cultivating right now. I invite you to anchor this energy into your life with one small action, one intention, and one mantra. Maybe that means reaching out to someone today, or saying yes to an opportunity, possibly starting a new habit, or simply carrying the mantra, I am magnetic to abundance. Choose your anchor and feel it settle into your heart. Take a deep breath in, breathing abundance into every cell of your body. And exhale gratitude for all that is already on its way. And when you're ready, gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring yourself back into this space, carrying the vibration of abundance with you. And when you're ready, open your eyes and welcome back.
Thanks, Danielle.
Yeah.
I hope people will share their experience too if they saw, maybe they noticed abundance that maybe they didn't know they had before coming toward them. Um, one of the things that came to me at the end reminded me of the idea that you don't have to know how this is going to happen. You just get to decide that this is what you want to happen and take
Mhm.
the next step. You don't have to know all of the steps before you allow yourself to feel that this could be true for you.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%. And you get, I mean, that's the whole thing. We get to
Yeah.
allow ourselves to be open to whatever is divinely meant for our next steps. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes clarity comes in the in-betweens. We don't always see it right away. And the more we become intentional the more clarity we start to attract into our world.
Mhm. And
And you
you know,
are,
when you,
Julie.
yeah, when you were talking about the river of abundance and just kind of the unlimited nature of it,
Hmm.
I still noticed some scarcity, like, popped up in me, like a little bit of, well, no, there was a little tightness, like, I don't know if I can have all that, right? And so my suggestion, if anybody else felt something similar, like not being able to have this, is to do the meditation again,
Hmm. Yeah,
right? To replay this, we'll send it out and to listen to it again. And just you'll notice that with each time you allow the idea that we receive from an infinite source, your capacity to receive it will start to open and soften.
you just have to allow. Oh, you
Yeah.
get to allow.
Yeah.
You
I was
get
gonna
to
say, make it
allow.
sound so simple, but sometimes that we're hold
Yes.
on pretty tight to the old
Yes,
stuff.
we sure do. We sure do. Danielle,
Well,
months behind my salon rent, and I'm about to lose everything. How do I change that mindset of not having anxiety? Yeah, this is heavy energy, Julie. This is heavy energy, and I'll tell you, one of the ways is to start really watching your internal dialogue, what you're saying between the ears, and changing that script and doing things that will bring you to your wish fulfilled. We talked about changing habits, one intention. If there's one thing that you can do today that'll get you closer to your wish fulfilled, start doing it. And some of that stuff is out of your comfort zone, right? We're not always comfortable with putting ourselves in a different place. But yeah, so it's really controlling, trying very hard to be aware of that inner dialogue, because that will just attract in more of what you don't want. So start thinking about what you do want and start
mhm.
changing that internal dialogue and that mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, and just have some compassion, right?
Yeah.
If this does end, right? If you end up having to give up on this part, right? There'll be grief, there'll be hard hard stuff that comes with that. And so the more compassion that you can have for that part of you that's really feeling that loss, I think the quicker you'll move through that. But also just I agree with what Danielle said is that um, what is it about this that is an opening for you? Is there a spot that will be creation after this ending? And maybe you decide that what you want is for this not to end. I'm not saying that it will end, right? Maybe you'll decide that what you want is not for it to end, and that will be how you come through into creating how it survives.
Showing yourself compassion is so important. And even another visualization is, this is a little bit of shadow work, but it's fabulous, is really thinking about the younger Julie and giving that younger, beautiful little Julie love, sending Julie love, the big Julie hugging the baby Julie, and just saying, I'm here, I got you, and you're going to get through this.
Mhm.
You're divinely
It sounds
guided.
like Danielle, it sounds like she knows she already wants to move on. So that's a huge first step, Julie, that you know you want to move on and you get to trust that that is the right place to move.
Yeah.
And you get to take the very next step of what that is. You don't have to know the end picture, but just the very next step of what moving on means.
And bring excitement to your journey, because this could also be a very exciting time for you, moving on, moving into a different phase in your life, a different season in your life. And there's so many beautiful things that could come from that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we welcome Julie if you want to connect with Danielle and I outside of class. We would absolutely welcome that. Our information is there. I want to just thank everybody for coming today, for being a part of Mindful Monday. I just love that fuel is a part of this mindset realm that, what we think and how we live this life is really what matters. And so we hope that you will bring someone next week for me and John and giving and receiving. And the week after that, Danielle will be back.
Yes.
So we hope you'll come again. We hope you will bring your team because what happens when you are around people who get this stuff is it's easier to continue on the path of this stuff. So
It
we
is.
want to hear how you're using the tools. We want you to continue to use mindfulness and meditation and really take a look at your week and see where you can welcome in abundance, let go of that scarcity and shift that mindset.
Yes, 100%. And I have to say, I'm grateful, and I'm sure, Allie, I'm speaking for both of us. We are so grateful that each and every one of you show up, some of you week after week, but here today to spend time with us. It means a lot to us,
Mhm.
really does. And we are here for each and every one of you. If you have questions or you need a little additional guidance, our contact information is in the chat. Never hesitate to reach out. We are
Yeah.
here.
All
So
right. Thanks,
have a
everybody.
wonderful
Thanks,
day and have a
Danielle.
blessed week. Take care.
Bye bye.